My name's Isabella. I'm 25 and work as the executive chef at one of the most respected restaurants in town. But getting here wasn't easy, especially after my dad married Violet when I was just 8 years old. Violet came into our lives with her daughter Chloe, who was exactly my age. From the second they moved in, it was obvious I didn't belong. I wasn't part of their perfect little family. I was just the outsider. "Aren't you going to tell your daughter to help with the cleaning?" Violet asked my dad a week after they moved in. Her mother was the maid, not me. My dad, a successful businessman who never really knew how to stand up to people, just looked down and mumbled, "Violet, please." But she didn't stop. "It's true. Everyone in our circle knows you married your maid and had a child with her. At least now you have a respectable family." My mom died when I was 6. Yes, she had been a housekeeper when she met my dad. But they fell in love and chose each other, not for appearances, but because they genuinely cared. The only thing I had left from her was a silver ring with a small blue stone. She gave it to me on her deathbed and whispered, "This ring has a special story, my love. One day, you'll understand why." After that, Violet and Chloe treated me like I was the help. My dad buried himself in work and rarely stepped in. Every morning, Chloe would yell, "Isabella, clean my shoes." Every evening, Violet would snap, "Dinner's not going to cook itself." But I had a plan. At night, after everyone was asleep, I studied. I graduated high school with honors and earned a scholarship to culinary school. When Violet found out, she sneered. "A chef? How fitting. Like mother, like daughter. You were born to serve." For once, my dad stood up for me. "Let her go, Violet. She can pay her way with part-time work." So, I left. I moved into a tiny room near campus and worked in kitchens to pay the bills. It was brutal, but I graduated top of my class. And now here I am, executive chef at one of the best restaurants in the city. A week ago, my dad called. "Isabella, Chloe's getting married next Saturday. I'd really like you to come." "She's not my sister," I said, "and I doubt she wants me there." "Please, sweetie. It would mean a lot to the family." "I'll think about it." The next day, Chloe showed up at my restaurant. She sat at the chef's table, all smiles, dripping with fake charm. Well, the maid's daughter has done all right for herself," she said, pulling out a fancy invitation. "I'm not inviting you because I want to. Let's be clear." But Dad insisted. "Just know this. If you come, you'll be seated at the back. I don't want anyone finding out the maid's daughter is my half-sister." I didn't respond. I just reached for the necklace I always wore, my mother's ring. "Understood?" she asked. "Perfectly," I said. "Oh, and one more thing. The catering, it's from your restaurant. Dad's idea. But if anything goes wrong, even once, I'll make sure you never work in this city again." Wedding day arrived. Chloe's fiancé, Adam McLean, was a successful businessman who'd made his fortune overseas. I'd never met him before, but I recognized his name from magazine covers. As promised, they stuck me at the farthest table next to the catering staff. During the reception, Violet passed by and muttered, "At least you dressed decently, though that necklace. You couldn't have tried a little harder." That was the final straw. I reached for the chain and slipped my mom's ring onto my finger. It was all I had left of her, and I wasn't hiding it anymore. Later, during the champagne toast, I approached the head table to check on service. That's when Adam noticed the ring. His eyes locked onto it, and he went pale. "That ring," he whispered. "Where did you get that?" The music stopped. Everyone turned. "It was my mother's," I said. "Your mother? What was her name?" "Mary Kate. Mary Kate Sterling." Adam stood so fast he knocked over his glass. "That's not possible. That ring belonged to my sister. Mary Kate disappeared 20 years ago after taking a housekeeping job. We never found out what happened to her." Violet dropped her glass. Her face went white. "No, that can't be," she whispered. And just like that, my mom's final words echoed in my mind. "This ring has a special story. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. Adam stepped forward, still locked on the ring. That's a family heirloom. My grandmother gave it to Mary Kate before she vanished. It has a blue sapphire and an inscription inside. True love is never lost. I finished for him. I'd memorized it from all the times Mom showed it to me. This is ridiculous, Violet barked. That woman probably stole the ring. She was just a maid. But Adam wasn't listening. Mary Kate was my little sister. She left to help the family and never came back. We searched for years. Then Chloe's voice cut through the room like a knife. This is my wedding. I won't let the maid's daughter ruin it. For the first time in my life, my dad stood tall. Violet, he said, his voice steady. I think it's time you told the truth. Violet started backing away, but two security guards, Adam's men, stepped in. I don't know what you're talking about, she said. But her voice was trembling. Yes, you do, Dad said. I found the old documents in your safe a month ago. He looked at Adam, then at me. Mary Kate didn't just disappear. Violet was the head housekeeper at the estate where your mother worked. When she found out Mary Kate and I were in love and that she was pregnant. Shut up, Violet screamed. But he kept going. She threatened her, said if Mary Kate didn't leave, she'd lose the baby. She swore that if she ever revealed who she really was, she'd destroy her. Adam looked like he was going to collapse. You knew. You knew where my sister was all this time. Violet let out a bitter laugh. So what if I did? That little nobody didn't deserve someone like your brother. I did. I came from a real family. But he picked her. I stared at her. You were in love with my father? I asked, stunned. Of course I was, Violet said coldly. I spent years working as the housekeeper, hoping he'd finally see me. But then your mother came along with that pretty face and sweet smile, and everything changed. When she died, I truly believed my chance had finally come. Chloe stood frozen, pale as a ghost. Mom, what are you saying? She whispered. But Violet wasn't done. I didn't just threaten Mary Kate, she said bitterly, her voice slicing through the silence. I made sure she got sick. Slowly over time. Just a little at a time in her food. Day after day, year after year. The room went still. Then Violet scoffed. Not that it matters. You can't prove anything. Yes, we can. The voice came from the back of the room. A man in a dark suit stepped forward, calm and commanding. I'm Detective Matthews. We've been working this case for months, ever since Mr. McLean brought it to us. It started when he saw Isabella in a culinary magazine and recognized her eyes. Violet gasped and made a run for the door, but the guards caught her before she got far. She kicked and screamed, but the detective didn't even flinch. We found records, poison purchases, suspicious bank transfers, and most important of all, Mary Kate's journal. She wrote down everything, every symptom, every threat. She hid it to protect her daughter. I turned to my dad, tears running down my cheeks. Why didn't you say something when you found out? Adam stepped in gently. We needed proof, he said. When I saw your photo, I knew you have Mary Kate's eyes. That's when I hired the investigators. They followed the trail right to Violet, but we had to wait for her to confess. That's when Chloe stepped toward me, her wedding dress dragging across the floor, the lace collecting dust. Her voice cracked. I didn't know. I swear. Please, Isabella. I'm so sorry. Everything my mom told me about you and about your mom was a lie. The police arrived shortly after. Violet was arrested on the spot, hurling insults and threats as they led her away in handcuffs. Needless to say, the wedding was canceled. In the weeks that followed, everything changed. I found out I had a whole extended family, uncles, aunts, cousins who had been searching for me for years. Most importantly, I had a real uncle, Adam, who I once thought was just a stranger at the wedding, turned out to be my mother's brother. We spent hours talking, sharing memories of Mary Kate, flipping through old photo albums. The McLean family welcomed me like I had always belonged, and they were determined to make up for lost time. My dad, yes, my real dad, sold the house he had shared with Violet. He donated much of the proceeds to a nonprofit supporting women who've survived domestic abuse. Then he moved into an apartment just a few blocks from my restaurant. We're finally rebuilding the bond that silence and secrets tried to erase. Even Chloe changed. Freed from her mom's poison, literal and emotional, she started therapy and began making a real effort to fix things between us. It'll take time, but for once, there's hope. My mother's ring, the one I'd worn around my neck for years, isn't just a keepsake anymore. It's become a symbol of everything we survived and everything we reclaimed. Inside it are the words engraved by my grandmother long ago. True love is never lost. Violet was sentenced to 20 years in prison for my mother's murder. During the trial, more ugly truths surfaced. She had blackmailed and manipulated other wealthy families for years, always managing to stay just out of reach until now. Today, I don't just run a restaurant. I run a chain of them. All of them are in partnership with the McLean family. And each one is named Mary Kate's in honor of the mother who gave me everything, including the strength to fight back. In every location, there's a framed photo of her smiling, wearing that silver ring with the blue stone, the very ring that led us to the truth. Because the truth always finds its way. Sometimes all it takes is the quiet shimmer of a silver ring. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, like the video and subscribe to our channel. This is Revenge Scales, where justice always finds its way. See you next time. Asterisk.